So what does his candidacy tell us about Beijing's intention in Hong Kong?
Well, it's clear that Beijing is going to be backing John Lee. We're hearing that it is the only candidate that they're going to be backing. So we could just have a one-horse race, if you will. It's more of a selection rather than an election, if you will, on May 8th, if that is the case. And then the new chief executive will officially replace Carrie Lam as chief executive on July 1st. Now, what we know about John Lee is, except for the past 10 months when he became the chief secretary, which is the #2 official in Hong Kong after Carrie Lam, he has spent his entire career in law enforcement, dating back to 1977 when he joined the Hong Kong police force. He rose up to be deputy police commissioner in charge of the management branch of the force, and then became the security secretary. Those dates you see there, 2017 to 2021. That means he oversaw the implementation of the national security law as chief of security, and he also, of course, spearheaded the crackdown on pro-democracy activists following those protests in 2019 and 2020. He has been a vocal critic of the news media. He oversaw the crackdown on Jimmy Lai and the Apple Daily. He accused the Apple Daily of using journalism to endanger national security. He's called journalists who use the media to pursue political purpose as evil elements. He has been in favor of a fake news law, or at least exploring the possibility of how a fake news law would work in Hong Kong. You can see his credentials are on the security front and center. It looks as though Beijing has prioritized somebody with security credentials rather than financial or business credentials as their next chief executive.
So does that mean the desire to restore business confidence is perhaps not going to be a top priority?
Well, as we know, as we're a news organization catering to the business community, there are some uncertainties here. There have been people who have left the city. Of course, some will come back once there's more clarity on the COVID restrictions front. But there is some uncertainty, definitely. If he is going to become a chief executive, he's going to have to learn on the job pretty quickly about business community and their needs, the international status of Hong Kong as a global financial center. He's going to have to learn about policy, government policy. He doesn't have this experience, so except for the last 10 months. Now, I'm going to read you a quote from Ilo Yu. He's an associate professor at the University of Macau. These are his words, not mine. He tells Bloomberg News, China seems to have given up on the idea of Hong Kong as an international financial hub, at least in the short term. They are likely focusing on, first, taking control. Beijing, he's talking about. Essentially, the national security camp has won the game. We'll have to see. The city is roiling after, of course, 5 years of an unpopular leader with Carrie Lam. Change is probably in the city welcome, but we'll have to see what kind of change will come.